Namaste everyone. Welcome to the 30th session on Taittareeya Upanishad. All the previous 29 episodes or sessions are available. You can go to Advaita Retold channel. I pasted the YouTube link, or you can listen to it in the replays in the clubhouse. So this has been a very graduated, slow but sure process of approaching what any Upanishad would take a student to. So heartfelt thanks to Binduji for guiding us through this process, first of all. And the second aspect is we have had very sincere, committed listeners. So we have to thank all the listeners who come committed to listen every session, even though it might at times seem so difficult to follow because either the nature of the language or the quality of attention one needs. But today's session, as Bindoji has promised, is going to be about Ananda and Abhaya, fear, lack of fear. So I'm very eagerly hoping to listen to that session, and I'm hoping that you're all also waiting to do the same. So for the time being, I'll close down the chat and hand raising so that the session can continue without disruption. And once the session is over, we'll have about half an hour or so to interact with Bindoji with any questions that you have or clarifications. With that, over to you, Bindoji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prakash. Thank you, Admission. Thank you all of you who have been very regular and following the Upanishad. Without much delay, let me start today's session. Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrabhyo Vamsharishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashi Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murtibheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. The Shanti Mantram of this chapter. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. In the Brahmanandavalli, which is the second chapter of Taittareeya Upanishad, which we are currently doing, in the last class, we finished the sixth Anuvaka or the sixth subsection. And in this subsection, we are taking up Abhaya Pratishta, which is the seventh Anuvaka or the seventh subsection. The seventh subsection goes like this. Asat va idamagra asit. Tato vai sadajayata. Tadatmana swayam akuruta. Tasmat swakrutam uchyate iti. Yadvai tat sukrutam raso vai saha. Rasam hi evayam labdua anandi bhavati. Ko hi anva ayanyaka pranat. Yadesha akasho anando nasyat. Yesha hyevo anandaya yati. Yada hyayvesha asmin adrishe anatme anukte anilayane abhayam pradishtam vindade adat so abhayam gato bhavati. Yada hyayvesha asmin udaramandaram gurute adatasya bhayam bhavati. Tatveva bhayam vidusho manvanasya tadapyesha shloko bhavati. Iti saptamanuvaka. See, in the sixth subsection, the Upanishad established that the entire world of experiences, of objects and the subject-object relationship, everything has got something common in them in the form of existence. This existence cannot be seen or perceived, but the result of it is what is being seen in the experiences, what we are calling it as world, the objects, and even the subject never can we deny our own existence. So existence is what as Brahman, Asti Brahmeti Veda Chet is the Upanishad word which has been used to indicate that the existence is the nature of Brahman, which is being prevalent and permeating everything in the world. So this existence is what is proven and without any doubt that which was present before creation or before the world of waking and dream or experiences came into existence. The seventh section describes Brahman, the same Brahman which is established as existence, as a self-made, which means that it is the material and efficient cause together for the universe. Self-made in the sense that there is nothing other than that. Therefore, both the material cause and the efficient cause of the universe or the world of experiences have to be, that is what it is the seventh section is going to indicate to us in the beginning. Once that is known, this causeless cause or the independent cause, because causeless cause means for that Brahman there is no cause, but the Brahman becomes both the material and efficient cause for the world, and that is independent of any other cause for its own existence or for its own being. This being the cause of everything, but is itself without a cause. That is how it is a causeless cause. The Brahman is the essence of all beings. Now, essence have got two very clear distinction. One is the essence means the substance, or essence is the nature of existence or nature of the Brahman, also can be essence of it. It is also the controller of vital air, etc. Prana, apana, samana, udana, etc. The non-dual support of Brahman for the universe, because there is none other than Brahman as a cause and as a support for the universe. And therefore, this essence is the reason why we all live in the hope of achieving this essence as our requirement. And when it is becoming a non-dual support, it is also going to lead us to the non-dual state of existence, which will result in the fearlessness. This being the sum total of the seventh Anuvaka, I will go into the word break and explanation of the word meaning in the dictionary meaning, but not what we call it as the literal meaning, not the intended meaning, which I will be reading the commentary of Shankaracharya and explaining. Asadva idamagra asid is the first one. So asat means non-existence. Why? Why is why actually? Because of with the compounding, it becomes va. Why means indeed or verily. Agre means in the beginning. Idam, this. Asid. This means this was in the beginning as verily or as indeed as non-existent. Tataha, hence, thence from that, why indeed Sat Ajayata, the existence was born. Tat Satyam, that truth, Soyam Atmanam Akuruta, by itself, it made itself as many. Tasmat Tat Sukrutam Uchyate. Tasmat, therefore, that one which has become many, or which is now become the world of experiences, is called Sukritam, means well made or well made. Uchyate is called well made. Yet, why? Tat Sukritam, which one? Yet means which one? Verily, that Sukritam, well made or caused, Saha by Rasaha is indeed, that is Rasaha means essence or joy. Literally means taste. I am Rasaha he evam labdva anandi bhavati. This essence or joy or taste, he eva, verily or indeed, labdva, having obtained, having tasted or having enjoyed, anandi bhavati, one become blessed or becomes in the state of happiness. Kahi anyat, who indeed would have lived. Kaha pranyat, who would have breathed. Yet, yesha akashaha, if this akasha or effulgent ananda or bliss, nasyat, means who would have breathed or who would have lived if this effulgent ananda, effulgent bliss was not has not existed. Esha hi eva anandayati. This verily alone bestows the bliss. Means this nature or this Brahman is the only one or indeed the one, Anandaya, the one which bestows the bliss. Yadohi vai eva esha etasmin adrishye anatmye anirukte anilayane abhayam pratishtha vindate. That means yada, when he eva, indeed, esha, this, etasmin, in this means adrishye, invisible, anatme, unembodied, anirukte, unpredicated or undefined, anilayane, unsupported or abodiless, abhayam, fearless, pratishtam, existence, vindade, attains, atha sa abhayam gada bhavati. Then one who has done such this, who sees this attains this, he, saha means he, abhayam gada bhavati. He obtains fearlessness. Yada hi eva esha, in this indeed, etasmin, in this, udaram, in the smallest degree, even the minutest, andaram kurute, makes a difference. Atathasya bhayam bhavati. then he has fear what he gets. Tattu, that again, eva amananyasya vidushaha bhayam tat api esha sloko bhavati. Tat tu again, verily, verily, amananyasya, thinking or unwise, one which was without think. Manvana means one who is wise. Amanvana means one who is not wise or unwise. Vidushaha means the knower of Brahman who has still not done enough manana of this. Bhayam bhavati. He gets into a state of fear. Again, api means again. Esha sloko bhavati. The verse is this. This is the literal meaning of the words which I have broken up from the word. So in the beginning, the translation given by another author is that in the beginning it was non-existent from birth. The boy was born. It was born. That created itself by itself. Therefore, it is called self-made. That which is self-made is flavor, essence, or taste, or, bliss. For truly on obtaining this essence, flavor, one becomes blissful. He who could direct a prana and apana, if this bliss does not in the akasha. If in the akasha, this bliss is not present, how will one breathe and exhale? Brahman verily exists because it alone bestows bliss. When a man finds fearless support in that Brahman, which is invisible, incorporeal, indefinable, supportless, he has obtained fearlessness. Which means one who takes support, refuge in Brahman, he becomes fearless. If he makes the slightest differentiation, even an iota of differentiation, if he is thinking, there is fear for him from the other. That becomes the fear for the knower who does not reflect. Amananyasya. So this being the introduction for the words and the literal meaning of it. Now let us look into how Shankaracharya is explaining this. Asatva idam agra asit. So asatva idam agre asit is the correct way in which you have to break it up. Asat. What is this asat we are talking about? We learned that Sat is the nature of Brahman. So here it is saying Asat Agre Asit means existed in the beginning. So how can Brahman which existed in the beginning become Asat? For that the Acharya says that Asat iti Vyakrita Nama Rupa Vishesha Viparita Rupam Avyakritam Brahma Uchyate. Asat Avyakritam Brahma Uchyate. Asat is the Avyakrita Brahman. Avyakrita means unmanifest. So does Brahman has two forms, manifest and unmanifest? So what does that mean by manifest and unmanifest? This unmanifest is what is now called asat, means non-existent or non-available for grasping. So that is defined as avyakrita vyakrita means manifest as nama rupa vishesha in the names and forms as the adjectives for it. Understand that Brahman itself, when it is defined with the name and form, then it becomes defined, Vyakrita. So, Vyakrita Nama Rupa Vishesha Viparitam. Viparitam means opposite. That means Avyakrita Nama Rupa Vishesham becomes the nature of Asat. That means before the creation, Brahman was in a indefinable state. Therefore, it is called Asat. Uchyate. But then the question can come, if it is indefinable, unobtainable or ungraspable, avyavaharyam, achintyam, all those things we have heard. If that being the nature of Brahman, we will not be able to, how from that, something which is possible for transaction, which is possible for thinking, can come out of things which is not present in the cause. We have learned that cause and effect are the same in two different time and space, or karana vyatirekena karyam nasti, or there is no separate effect from the cause. There is no pot without the mud. So the lump of mud which is the cause is the effect which is the mud pot. So how can this without the name form as adjectives become the names and forms as adjectives in the creation? So that to avoid of any doubt that is it indicating the shunyata, which was prevalent at that time as one of the philosophies of the Buddhist tradition. To ward off that, Acharya Shankara says, na punaha atyandam eva asat. Again, punaha, na atyandam, not absolute asat. The absolute asat is like things which can never exist, like the horns of a hare, or a child of a barren woman, or like that, which is in no way possible for to exist. So that is what is called atyandam asat. So he is saying that it is not that type, that here when we say avyakritam Brahma, Brahma is not a non-existent one. Only thing is that the mud pot was not seen in the lump of mud. Doesn't mean the mud pot was not present in the lump of mud. Only thing is it was indefinable as mud, the lump of mud in the pot, and it becomes when a material cause, like what are the ingredients to make a pot is present, like the wheel and the fire, etc. is present, and an intelligent cause, the potter, works on it, the lump of mud becomes the clay pot. Same way, the water becomes the waves when there is a motion for the water and there are air which is pushing the water for creating the waves. The water which was not having waves is now appearing as waves. Same way the gold and the gold ornaments. Like that we can say it anywhere, where there is an intelligent cause and a material cause is being present. Nahi asataha sanjanma asti. From a non-existent barren woman's son, another son can be born. Sanjanma. A real son can be never be born to a non-existent son of a barren woman. Like that, a non-existent flower in the sky can never be adorned in the hair or can be smelled for the purpose of sugandha or the flower smell. Idam. So here now the word idam, agre, is what is now being defined as. So asat has to be understood as Brahman itself, as avyakritam, or in a primordial state where it was not vyakritam, not in the shape of name and form. So what is idam? Idam means nama rupa vishesha vat vyakritam. That is what is idam. So asat idam agre asid. So this idam, what is the idam? Nama rupa vishesha vat vyakritam. With definitive name and form and shape. Whatever has been formed means the entire world of experiences, where we can say definitively it had a name, it had a form, it had a definitive qualifications with which we can identify it. So all the subject, object and the experiences, all the three put together becomes the Jagat, which is now put in one word as Nama Rupa Visheshavat Vyakritam. So Avyakritam Brahma has now become the Vyakritam Jagat. So what is that? So Idam means the Vyakritam Jagat, the formative world of experiences was in the state of unformed or undefined state as Brahman before it was. Agre means Purvam or Pragutpattehe, before the creation or before the coming into the forms of name and form and everything. So simply to put it is this way, the whole world of experience of subject, object and all the experiences of knowing, experiencing, ideation, all those things was in a state of undefinable state of without name, form or descriptions before the creation. That when the creation or when tat srishtva tadeva anupravishat, when that type of an activity took place, the same Brahman itself became what is the world. So there is no world which is different from Brahman. There is no Brahman different from world. Brahman itself is before taking on the name and form, it is in the form of existence where the names and forms are not visible. The same existence when it is having name and form, we call it as subject, object and experiences, means the world of objects. Whether it is waking or dream, doesn't matter. Brahma eva asat shabda vachyam asid. So this Brahma is the one which was called asat vachyam by the word asat existed before the creation. Tataha asataha vai sat pravibhakta nama rupa vishesham ajayataha utpanna. Tataha asataha. From that asat, which is the asat shabdavachyam Brahma. Why indeed sat, that existence in the form of existence. Why? Pravibhaktam means vibhaktam, differentiated. Pravibhaktam means specifically or very clearly defined in nama rupa vishesham, in names and forms and the descriptions. Ajayata is the one utpannam, or how it has come out. So there is no separate entity which was existing other than Brahman before, Ekameva. That itself is now appearing as the names and forms and with all the definitions of shape, adjectives, qualification, etc., etc. So both the material cause and the intelligent cause is Brahman itself. Other than Brahman, nothing else was there. Kim tada pravivaktam karyamiti viduriva putraha is the question from the opponent. How it is from that it became defined and names and forms were obtained? Is it like the son being born to a father? Viduriva putraha. From the father how a son comes. Na ityaha. No, that is not the way in which you have to understand that. Tat ashabdavachyam swayameva atmanam eva akurataha kritavat. Tat asat shabdavachyam Brahma. That Brahman, swayameva. There is none other than Brahman. So it, by itself, atmanam eva, by its own volition, akurataha means created or kritavat. What? It adorned, it took on name and shape and qualifications on itself, all by volition, its own volition. Yasmat devam tasmat tad brahma eva sukrutam swayam kritam uchyate. Therefore, yasmat devam, in this manner alone, tasmat tad brahma eva, that Brahma, from that alone, sukritam means swayam kritam. See, the word sukritam has got a meaning of doing good deeds. What you call not sin, but opposite of sin is what is called sukritam. When you do good deeds, you get punya, or the effect of good deeds is you get blessed by that and you get happiness out of it. So here the word definition for sukritam has been given a different meaning by Acharya Shankara. Swayam kritam means self-made. When you make something for yourself, you make it to the best way you want. So that way also, the best deed or the good deed can be called as a sukritam. So Brahman, when it did the creation of the world, it did not do for anybody's sake because there was nobody else other than itself. So it created the world, a beautiful world of experiences and everything in its own nature with its own perfection. The world is a perfect world created by Brahman by itself for itself because nobody else is there. That is why when it is said Swayam Kritam means he has done it Sukritam, he created it in the best form for himself. Swayam Krita Kartru Brahmedi Prasiddham Loke Sarva Karanatvad. So we saw that Atma, Akasha, Akashad, Vayu, etc., the whole world of creation, Sarva Karanatvad, and therefore Atma or Brahman is the cause for everything. This is Prasiddham in the Loke. Prasiddham in the Loke means it is well known from our previous examples where we studied and everything. It is also known in the Vedic example that Sarva Karanam, Brahma, is the cause for everything. Yasmat Swayam Akarot Sarvam Sarvatmana. Therefore, Swayam Akarot Sarvam. He created everything for himself. Please understand. This is the catch of the whole statement. He created or it created, whichever way you want to take, you can take it. Just used it he, or it created it the world of entire names and forms, the subject, the object, and the experiences, everything, for itself, Swayam Akarod, Sarvam. How? Sarvatmana, by becoming everything. He created the names and forms not as separate from himself, as himself. That is why it is called Swayam Kritam. He created himself, Swayambhu, creating of appearing of its own. In the Kathopanishad we heard, no? Paranchikani Pratarnat Swayambhu. So there the word Swayambhu is for Atma or Brahman. So the same Swayambhu or Swayam Kritam, Sukritam is the same word, one who created for himself. Tasmat Punya Rupena api tadeva Brahma Karanam Sukritam Uchyate. Therefore, Tasmat Punya Rupena, in the form of opposite of sin, Punya Rupa, good work, or the good deeds, or the effects of good deed, whichever way you want to take it, that is Brahman itself. And he or it was the cause, it itself is the effect. Therefore, it is Sukritam Uchyate. Therefore, he created it by itself. It created it itself, the names and forms and adjectives. Sarvata apitu Phalasambandha Adi Karanam Sukrita Shabda Vachyam Prasiddham Loke. Sarvada api, in all cases, Phalasambandhadi Karanam, due to the relationship between the good work and the good effect of it, one who does the punya, good opposite of sin, the good work, when it is being done, you get good results. So, Phalasambandhi, the relationship between the good work and the good result is the Phalasambandhi Karanam. Sukrita Shabda Vachyam Prasiddham Loke. So that for good results you have to do Sukritam. This is how it is known in the world as Prasiddham Loke. In the whole world it is known by this means. Yadi punyam yadiva anyat sa prasiddhihi nitye chetana karane sati upapadyate tasmad asti brahma suhrita prasiddha iti. Now he is bringing the intelligent cause here. It was easy for us to understand the material cause and the cause and the effect. But here he is saying that, the Acharya is saying that, Yadi punyam va yadi va anyat, whether you want to take it as result of a good action, or you want to take it as it becoming itself as the objects of names and forms, whichever way you take it, sa prasiddhihi, it is well known, the both attitude, both the thing, that effect of the good work or whether the appearance of good nature of the world or the world as a nature within. Nitye chetana karane sadi upapadyate. Nitye is the adjectives for chetana karane. Only when there is an efficient cause or an intelligent cause or a conscious entity behind the creations, and which should be nityam, which can never be changing its nature. What does the word nityam means? Eternal. Eternal means unchanging. So that eternal, efficient, or intelligent or conscious cause can only create using himself or itself as a good act or good world of objects of experiences. Now, for a minute, let us keep the example by the side. When we look from our own experience, from the deep sleep, which is a known fact that is the state of Avyagritam, where there was no names and forms of any nature present in the state of deep sleep. From the deep sleep, when we appear as a waker or a dreamer, the entire world is also created simultaneously. And the whole world of creation, whether it is waking or dream, I am not separating it, that the whole world of experiences with the names and forms has the same astitvam in it. Because when I am without the names and forms, aham asmi, I am there, without knowing my own definition or definite nature in which what I am, as undefined or indefinable nature of myself in the deep sleep, when becoming the world of experience and placing myself as the experiencer in the world, the experiencer subject is asti, the world of objects are, that is also asti. There is an experience, so there is an easiness to that relationship between the subject and the object. There is also the astitvam is there. So this easiness is nityam, permanent, whether I am in an indefinable state or now I have become an experiencer and separate the world of experiences outside as separate from me, and I become the waker or the dreamer to the experience of the world. Not only that, what I am creating of the world, whether it is a waking world or the dream world, is all from my memory. What I call it as my subconscious mind or tendencies, whatever vasana or any word you want to use, it is my own. So my own creation is depending upon my own need for that experience. That experience, we call it as good and bad. That is not good and bad from the point of view of the creator. That is why in Krishna says in that, Sukhadukke samikritva lava lavo jaya jayo. When he was displaying about the Jivan Mukta or a Sthira Prajna. He says that such a person will not differentiate. Only one who is not knowing the reality or not who has thought about the experiences as unwanted, bad, good, etc. Because he is not knowing who created it. We have created our own world. We means not the one which is in the world of experience. The experiencer and the total world of experience was created by the same entity. From where? From its own memory, from its own subconscious mind or tendencies. Whether it is in the dream or in the waking, it is the same. Dream, we are able to accept that it is our tendencies what is giving rise to the experiences of the dream, because of unsatisfied tendencies are getting satisfied in the thing. Is it that these experiences of the world is somebody, putting it on you, being forcefully making you to go through it? No. We are going through that not forcefully by anybody else. We have created it for our own enjoyment or our own suffering. But we do not know what is enjoyment or suffering, or what is the reality behind the enjoyment and suffering. Therefore, we suffer or we think it is enjoyment. And that enjoyment also we are not able to give it is the full measure it, because by the time our mind change and we are not even able to enjoy it the way in which we are supposed to enjoy it. So all those things are, now we are putting the blame on the creator, thinking we are different from the creator. So if you look at it that way, it is only the one who has not understood the creation or how we create our own world, one who has this clarity that my state as an undifferentiated, undefinable source, or where the whole thing was present without name and form in my deep sleep, when it becomes present in the name and form of transactional as the experiencer and the experienced, or the subject and the object, it cannot come from outside somewhere. Yes, it is outside of the experiencer. But the experiencer and the world of experiencer together cannot be outside some outside entity and then forced upon the experiencer. No. We are not giving enough thoughts into our own experience of life. Now this will be explained in the subsequent statements when he talks about the prana, etc., which is coming in the following stages. But we have to understand that all the activities which is happening is by us only. Us means not the individual what we are, but we as Atman or Brahman is what is the source from where it is coming. And when the moment it is coming, we segregate ourselves. Andaram kurute. We are segregating by I am the experiencer, the world of experience is separate from me. Even though that Sarvatmanaha, I have become everything. The world is also I am the world. The experiencer of the world is also I am. That knowledge is not there in us. Therefore we segregate it. But one who knows this reality, he sees everything in himself and everything as himself. There is no difference in it. That is why even in the Chandogya when he said that Yatra Nanyat Pasyati Anyat Srunoti Anyat Vijanati, or in the Bhagavad Gita when Krishna says Yomam Pasyati Sarvatra Sarvancha Mayi Pasyati, one who sees me in everything and everything in me. All this shows what is that we are thinking we are separate and the world is separate. The essence from where we have come and the world has come is one and the same, and it is our undefined pure nature. The world is also the undefined pure nature which is now taken up by itself, Sukritam, the name and form and the definitions or qualifying nature of it. Therefore, it is everything we have to understand is that this Prasiddham Loke, whatever is known in the world is not separate from anybody other than that one world which is called Tasmad Asti Brahma. Therefore, it is from that Brahma which is Sukrita Prasiddhihi itihi. That one well-created one, or one who has become well-created one, or the nature which is the beauty of the creation of the itself. In that nature, you are also a part of the nature. You are not separate from the nature. The nature is a creation beauty of that entity, and you are also a beautiful creation. How much of creation of you we know ourselves? The automation that is happening in our body, the way in which our mind functions, the way in our intellect functions, the way in our sense organs function, the way our motor muscles function, the way in which our digestion takes place, the way our purging of unwanted things taking place. We are a wonder by itself. We do not know how wonderful we are. We do not know the beauty of who we are, the beauty in which we are created. But when we take the separateness from the beauty, we become the limited individual. That limitation, Udaram Andaram Gurude, this separation, this iota of differentiation which we bring it to ourselves, is the cause for our ignorance and therefore all the problems of the world. Therefore, the opponent is asking now the question, Idascha asti kutaha, if it is present in the world, in every iota of the creation, how is he present? In the earlier segment, we discussed and we found out it is in the form of existence. Here he is now bringing a word which is called rasatvad, rasam. Rasam, the word rasam means essence or taste or, what you call nectar. The beauty of the nectar or the essence or the taste of every creation, every atom of creation. It is in the form of enjoyment. The nectar is for taste, is for enjoyment. So that enjoyment is the nature in which it is present in every atom. Kuto rasatvat prasiddhihi brahmanaha ityata aha yadvai sukritam tat sukritam raso vai saha. If the question is that rasatvat prasiddhi brahmanaha, where is the rasatvat brahmanaha prasiddhi? Where is the well-known essence or the bliss of taste or the happiness of the essence in the protection of the world? There it is said in the Upanishad, Tat Sukritam, that is the essence, that is well created or that is the best creation. Raso vai saha, he is indeed the essence of that well created world of experiences. He is the essence in every creation. If you having an experience, the essence of experience is his or the Brahman's. I am using his again and again. Sorry for it. You can use it or shit, her. Doesn't make a difference. That is the essence which is why we are after our experiences. When we are undifferentiated and in the state of it which we go, we are not happy in ourselves. We want to be happy. So we go after the happiness by creating the world and chasing the experiences. And that experiences are giving us happiness. That not knowing that taste and the happiness is our own nature, we feel that we get tired of these experiences and go back to the undifferentiated state of deep sleep again. Because we never knew how to remain in the taste of experiences. So a person who is not in sleep, who is in the state of happiness in the experiences, he cannot be called he is sleeping or he is awake. This is the verse which is that in the famous statement of the Bhagavad Gita, where he said, whose night is day and whose day is night for such a person. It is in this essence what that statement is being made in the Bhagavad Gita. Yanisha sarva bhutani. That famous verse in the Bhagavad Gita is based on this verse. Raso vai saha. Why? Because a person who has realized that it is my own essence which is there in the experiences, he is even while awake in the world of experiences, he is deep asleep in the essence. And when he is in his deep sleep, he is fully awake, knowing that now he has enmasked all the essence in the undifferentiated form into himself, and he's awake in that knowledge and remaining in the deep sleep for world outside. But in his case, he is enjoying the undifferentiated happiness or rasa in himself. So that is why he raso nama tripti hetu. Tripti hetu. Tripti means satisfaction. Hetu means cause. So what is rasa? Rasa means happiness or the cause for tripti, satisfaction. What satisfies you is called rasa or the tripti hetu. Ananda karaha means which gives the bliss. That bliss we are not able to see in our day-to-day experiences. When I said pradibodha viditam, in every experience, it is the happiness which we are experiencing. When we see the difference that I am the experiencer, this is an object to be experienced, then I have brought a differentiation. In that case, I cannot enjoy my happiness. So when we learn the priya, moda, pramoda, the priya is when it is desired, moda is when it is in your hand, and pramoda when it becomes the cause for satisfaction by becoming, when you consume it or when you make it your own. That is what is called ananda. So, tripti hetu, the satisfaction for happiness or satisfaction, the cause of happiness is the bliss or what is called the rasa here. Madhura amladi prasiddha loke. It is in the form of different nature in the world by the sweet, the sour, the salt, etc., etc. It is in coming in multivarious name, in different objects in the different thing. Sweet and sour, salt and taste, salt and, pepper or whatever name you want to put, salt and hot and sour. All those things, everywhere you are having experiences, the happiness of that experience is the happiness of Brahman or Raso Vaisaha. That is the Ananda what we are talking. Rasameva hi ayam labdva prapya anandi sukhi bhavati. We become happy when we get satiated, when we have an experience which gives us satisfaction. So the Ananda is there in me, which is now merging with the Ananda or the happiness in the experience, and also it is present in the object. The object is made of Ananda, made of the same Brahman or Atman in the name and form now. And when I am experiencing it by my sense organs, which is also by the prana, which is also Brahman, which is the way the sense organs are functioning, and that is also bringing the contact between me and the objects of which is experiences. So when I am getting that happiness or when I'm getting the satisfaction from the object, I become anandi or sukhi bhavati. I become satiated or I become an object of happiness or subject of happiness. Na asataha ananda hedutvam drishte loke. If Brahman was asat, non-existent one like the shunyata, which is the Buddhists were talking about, it could never have given the ananda in the world, and hedutvam can never be a cause for happiness in this world. Drishte loke. Bahya ananda sadhana rahita api aniha nireshana brahmanaha bahya rasa labhadiva sananda drishyate vidwamsaha. Now he is taking this aspect. of those who have found happiness in that Brahman. How do they do it? Bahya Ananda Sadhana Rahita. They are never looking for external objects, Bahya Ananda Sadhana, causing happiness for them. Niriha, Iha means effort. Aniha, Aniha means they do not put any effort for getting the world of objects. They are most detached, you can say, or dispassionate for the world of objects. And they don't take any effort. If it happens, it happens. Agataye swagatam guryat gachandam na nivarayet. Let it come, let it go. They are not worried about it. So they don't have any iha or an effort for it. Ani. Nireshana. Eshana means desire. Nireshana means without any desire. Though they are without putting no effort, they don't have any desire. Brahmana bahya rasa labhadiva. They are not putting to effort for anything for Brahma, because bahya labhadiva, like the objects, sensual objects which is giving happiness, they are looking for bahya sadhana rahita. They are not looking for any happiness from outside. They are satiated with their own being. Sananda drishyataya vidwamsaha. These vidwamsaha, these people who have become knower of Brahman, Brahmavit, Lok, they are happy within themselves. Whether they are engaged in the world outside or not engaged in the world outside, they always remain in a state of happiness. They don't want, whether they are engaged with the world or not, they are depending not on the world of objects for happiness, because they found that same happiness is available with them, whether they use the names and forms or whether they do not use the names and forms within themselves or with the world outside. Nunam Brahmaiva Rasaha Tesha. Nunam means indeed or verily. Brahma Eva, the Brahma alone is Rasa Tesha. Their happiness or their bliss is Brahman itself. Tasmat Asti Tesham Anandagaranam Rasavad Brahma. Therefore, Tasmat Asti, there is this Brahma, which is Asti, existence of Brahman is there. Rasavat, as blissful in nature. Rasavat means happiness in nature. Tat Tesham Anandagaranam. That Brahman is becoming the cause for happiness for Vidwamsaha, the one who have realized themselves as Brahman, as the one which is inside and outside. Now, I stop here because next word is about the prana, which is being there in the mantra itself, which we will take up in next Wednesday's class. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunattu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you. Dhanyawad.
Thank you very much, Mindoji, again for a very deep meditation into Ananda and Abhaya. I've opened up the chat and the hand raising, please come up. We have another hour or so, half an hour or so for discussions.
Benji, I'm just going to speak briefly, if you'll let me, Ganesh, and then hand back the moderation to Prakash for today. But that was so beautifully done, so beautifully done. And the beginning part, for me, was very reminiscent of Nasadiya and the really mystical, esoteric kind of way of approaching all of this and poetically talking about the formless. And then the last part for me was very indicative towards the fourth Brahma Sutra, and that the release is really in a release of the egoic effort, and you did that so beautifully. And the other two things I want to just mention are, I felt like really strongly today, if we can just hear it, that people can set aside their concerns that there's some mistaken way in which this world in which we live must be negated. The only negation is the way that our mind is dealing with it, in my view. And the way that you brought in the relationship between this very non-materialistic but very vibrant, very undeniable, that's a good word, undeniable enjoyment that comes with that freedom, and the allowing that you even allow to use the word enjoyment. If we can just hear it not in the usual way, that there's an invitation to a kind of happiness that won't be known before. And I can't say, I just want you to know how beautifully I felt you did it. And thank you for letting me speak, and thank you for moderating today, Prakash. I'm just going to be enjoying it.
Thank you, Atmisha.
Ganesh ji.
Namaste, Binduji.
Namaste.
It was very, very, very exciting and enlightening. Today's talk was, especially from Vyakrita to Vyakrita, and how it defeats the Shunyavada, and how the entire world is permeated with rasa, and it was all beautiful, Binduji. And you went inch by inch in detail of this. And today it is only the whole session I was just reminded of, rather within me, that one stotra of Dakshinamurti was going on. Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Dhyanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagan Sadrasham Tattvamasya Laksham. So that one thing has been capsulating today's entire essence, I feel. What's your opinion, Binduji, about it?
Well, you are right. Experiences itself we have to see as enjoyment.
Yeah.
Experiences are not good or bad, or happiness or suffering. Happiness and suffering, good and bad, all will come, as Atmisha said, when we have the individuality and our mind comes evaluating that, not allowing the intellect to understand the reality behind it. This is why the Nihidam Guhayam, in the center of the heart of the Vijnana, where it is in contact with Anandamaya, it is giving us opportunity to know our true nature. But if the mind comes in between and takes away our attention, it is why the attention is so important in the spiritual, or especially in this path, that the more you give attention to every experience, which is a pratibodham of yours, you can see nothing but wonder, happiness, and enjoyment. That wonder itself is a bliss. You become dumbstruck with the happiness.
Yeah.
Have we ever analyzed our experiences? If we realize every analysis we analyze experience, how can an object which seems to be separate and distant in time and space become part and parcel of my experience and felt inside me as a knowledge of an object? What outcome it gives is conditioned by the mind, how it takes it. But if the mind is not in the play, the same experience becomes a wonder, a thing which blows our mind, and that experience becomes a no-mind experience, even in our day-to-day experience. We are not able to see the beauty and the wonder in which we have become the world as objects and the experiencer. From that deep sleep, where these were available is unmanifest form, is now available as manifest form, as subject and object for our own enjoyment. It is not nobody's enjoyment, but not knowing it is our own enjoyment, we have done this. The waking and the dream is for our own enjoyment. We are now fighting, making people go, kill each other, fight each other, do a thing as if we want experience of that nature to be happy. We do not know what we are doing ourselves. Only when we become blind to our own reason why we have become this, we will do all foolish things. That is why those who know, they don't depend upon outward things of the waking and the dream to become happiness. They are satiated. They become happy within themselves. Ananda. No, they become Ananda Swarupa. Swarupananda or Ananda Yati, where he becomes the bliss itself. Asti Bhadi Priyam Rupa. That is our Rupa. Asti and Bhadi, Priyam. So we know that we are happiness. Thank you, Ganesh.
Fantastic, Bindoji. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Yes, Majidar.
Sir, 1 second, sir. Okay. Uh, okay. Master, Bindu sir, it was a fantastic. I mean, like you said last, I still remember, sir. I was attended in your class in this Taittareeya Upanishad in 7th chapter. So now I'm attending in 30th chapter. So what it's like, as I told you, sir, I don't have any questions. I got a solution to share with you all, sir, if you give the permission.
Please.
Yes, sir. This is very simple. What you have said is absolutely true, and I have experienced this. And I am fearless now. What I was seeking, it is seeking me. I mean, Rumi said like that. You, Bindu sir, you are in the stages of very mastery people. You are very divine. So what I was seeking, it was seeking me. Earlier, I was seeking fear. So police were covered in the home. As you know, sir, what I'm up to. And now I'm fearless. So that fear and anxiety that holds the man to not to manifest because of the social and the mental projections of this bloody society. If you're, I mean, yes, that's the true word. Because, sir, respected Bindu sir, Shankara
Yes.
was there in, yes sir.
Go ahead.
There. Yes sir. Shankara was there in me. Only thing is, Manu was stopping me, sir, being a Harijana. Now I got to know this bloody nonsense. As Atmishya madam said, esoteric. It's everything is proven, sir. It's I mean, like, sir, Bindu sir, I'm requesting you one more thing. Never ever use I am the word with the negative things. And sir, you can understand this truth. I have ordered the dictionaries both in English as well as in Kannada languages, because whenever I say that words, yes, see, the nervous system sends the signal out there. So, sir, with your permission, I would like to say, I have read the autobiography of Nikola Tesla. He was a obsessive compulsive disorder patient. So, only the thing is, which is holding everyone back is these obsessive compulsive disorders and all or nothing thinking and imposed mental projections of society and consuming it by our sense perceptions. What you said is absolutely true. The Buddhists also say like this, no raga, no dvesha. You said the same thing. So once the person is evolved in the next level, he loses his own, that fearful, that sudden impulse, that he cannot, if he cannot master himself, nothing is going to master in his life. And last thing I would like to say, sir, manifestation is very dangerous and absolute truth. It is highly advised. Do not attempt this one without clearing your anyone's negative patterns, because what you seek is also seeking you. This is the only concept, sir. You must be aware of this. So nervous system, it manifests the sufferings. The suffering ripples. So I'm urging you, sir, in this diasporium, the Manu was holding me back to become a Shankara. Hope you understand this concept of the frictions of the society. And now I would like to say, sir, yes, this is very true. And you can remove the negative blockages in your nervous system by hyperventilation methods like pranayama. So this is what I have found it, sir. When you remove all these of nonsense things, you become God. And you said last time, connect with the source. I was looking for the source, but now I am thinking I am the source. And last word, with pure removing of your negative patterns, manifest and challenge the reality. Sir, thank you.
Thank you, Manjunath. Thank you for your words. How is your health?
Thank you so much, sir. As you said, the attention density matters. Where we focus our attention, that you only said in this chapter. I would not like to discuss more on the health, sir, because
Okay.
as you must be aware that in the manifestations laws, if where the attention goes, that enlarges. Please
Right.
understand this. The history is going to be made, and with the self-directed neuroplasticity and with Advaita, so everything is possible once you get out from that fearfulness and the fake anxieties. So that's all, sir. One who master
Great.
himself. Yes.
Great. I'm happy
Sir,
for you.
thank you so much, Bindu sir, because you pushed me in the beginning. You are, see, this is the unfortunate things. We supposed to learn something. Society imposes like, hey, you are from this community. Hey, you should not read like this. So someone's mental projection is, like, and I don't want to complain, sir. This is the real fact. So we supposed to, and what is looking you is also looking me. I was looking you, sir. So you have arrived in this forum. You are in Gujarat. I am in Karnataka. But that particle has been connected. I'm really grateful for that. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Manjunath. Venkat?
Hari Om Energy.
Hari
Maybe
Om.
it's approaching 10 o'clock.
No, it's okay.
Is it okay to
It's
talk?
okay.
Okay. Binduji, I'm just going through the day, the way you took us. That that asadva idamagra asit. That asat iti vakruta nama rupa vishesha viparita rupam avikrutam brahmochyate. That avyakruta, that what has been ignorance, was in the causal state.
It's not
And
ignorance.
asat means that either the mulama.
No,
Asat,
asat means unmanifest here.
so unmanifest. So basically it was just there in avyakruta and become vakruta.
Yeah.
Is that is asadva means can we take it as a mula maya?
No, there is no Maya. Did I utter one word of Maya or ignorance anywhere? There is no ignorance. There is no Maya. All there is Brahman only.
But here is a idam iti nama rupa vishesha vad vakrutam jagat. That is the same.
That is where in the last class, if you remember, I said the illusion, what we call it of the word, is when you do not know the nature of the world. The world, when it is known as nothing but the source from where the world has come, that is the Satyajnanam Anandam, or existence, knowledge and infinity, or bliss. That is the nature from where the world has come. The world will have these in its experiences, or in the world itself you can see that. Everything is existing because it has come from existence. Without existence, nothing would have been existing as in the name and form. The world as a unmanifest was present in our deep sleep. It is not my deep sleep, your deep sleep, or anybody deep sleep. In the deep sleep, there is no I, you, or the world. Everybody goes to the same unmanifest Brahman or Atman. When we become the experiencer of the waker or the dreamer, the world is created as subject, object, and the interaction between the subject and object as knowing or experiencing. So when it is that way, where were they before they took the name and form and the subject object? Where were the experiencer of the waker? Now don't bring you as the waker. Think about somebody else is now become the waker and experiencing the world of objects. And he was asleep before. So from the sleep, when he wakes up, where would have his identity been present as unmanifest form before he became the waker or a dreamer? Necessarily, it has to be present in the deep sleep state, and it was unmanifest. Why we call it as unmanifest? Because no way could anybody know that what was his nature or name or form or place or everything. The third person, if I see him, I say that Venkat was sleeping in such and such a place. Now he has woken up to experience the world. But when he is in deep sleep, Venkat is in deep sleep, what is his experience of deep sleep? I cannot know. So that I have to know from my deep sleep is exactly what Venkat also must be going through. If my deep sleep is known to me or as a unmanifest, undefinable, or, without any definitions of name and form and everything, that must be the experience of Venkat also. So, from where did my world of experience come now? My world of experience definitely should be coming from that where I was in deep sleep. That is what is called the asat here. Nama Rupa Vishesha Vyakruta Rehitam. That becomes Avyakruta Brahman, or unmanifest Brahman or Atman.
So I think this is clear, Binduji. I'm just trying to classify it for the sake of discussion. That Vishesha Viparita Rupam Avikrutam Brahma Uchyate. That what was there in causal form has, come alive. this is the
Yes.
potency of the pot is in the mud.
Yes.
That is what happened.
Right.
The Mulamaya was very much.
Hey, why do you bring the word again Maya here?
Mulamaya means that which
There
is
is no.
Avyakrita.
Don't see, the moment you bring words which are not written in the Bhashya or what I have told, you are going to create confusion. There is no Maya, no Avidya.
Okay, we'll leave that, Binduji. So that way we are clear on this.
Yes.
I'm clear on this. The potency of pot in the mud is taken
You
away on
can
this.
say Moolam. You can say Moolam, but don't say Moola Maya.
Okay. It's okay, Binduji. We'll continue. The second, as we continued, that Swayam Kruta. The Swayam Kruta, that Swayambhu was clear, that, but it uses this Tasmat Punya Rupena Api Tadeva Brahma Karanam Sukrutam Uchyate. Why use the label Punya Rupena Api Tadeva?
Because because that is the way in which in the world the word Sukrutam is known as. The Sukrutam is the one which gives rise to Punya or the good effects. For good effects, the acts or the job has to be good. So whatever is good gives rise to goodness. So that is why the Punya, Sukrutam means Punya. That is why that phala, the word phala is used in that next line, no? That is because of that. Sukrutasya phalam punyam. That is, punyam is the result of a sukrutam. A good deed gives rise to punya.
So, the Swamikara Swakarya, the Sukruta, anybody, even in the ignorant, the selfishness is the potency there. One do it for one's own happiness, eventually, whatever one does.
Yes.
So, in this case, that Sukrutam, from a Brahman aspect, is painted as Punyam. I'm just trying to contemplate on that little more. In this case, why Sukrutam is amplified?
Okay. The reason is that the explanation was given subsequently with the respect to Brahmavit or Vidvamsaha. One who have realized the nature of creation, the unmanifest becoming manifest without an intelligent and material cause, both being itself. The intelligent cause is itself, the material cause is also itself. Like the mud becoming a pot, here, there is a material cause is mud, but there is what you call added material causes like the potter wheel, the heat or the clay or the water or so many things are added to the rod for rotating it, whatever it is, and the intelligent cause is the potter. Here there is only Brahman there, Ekameva. There is non-dual Brahman as the only thing which was in the unmanifest state. And when the manifestation takes, it is not getting any help or from the outside parties or anybody outside itself, because it is consciousness itself. It is existence itself. And therefore the existence is now becoming in the name and form as existence. The name also has an existence, the form is also has an existence. Combined name and form as an existence or as a matter, what we call it as, is also nothing but other than the Brahman itself. Whether we call it as a matter, whether gas, liquid or anything. This has been told in that Akasha, Vayu, Prana, this thing, that fire, water, etc. Everything is from Brahman only. So whether it is, you call it as matter or not, everything is coming from that unmanifest as the manifest. Only thing is that it is adorning a name and form now to become objects for experience. And the subject is also a matter with mind and intellect and all the 5 sheets which has been mentioned to experience the world of interact with the world which is created. Both being the same, of the same root from which it has come, or from the same cause, both the effects have come. The world has come, the subject also has come. With being the same material or the same ingredients present in both of them, the one who knows this, he doesn't need the world to be happy. He is always in happiness. But one who doesn't know this, he is now thinking the happiness lies in the objects. Therefore, he has a desire to aggrandize, to possess, to consume. All this is because he doesn't know the reality of the creation. That is the difference between the knower of Brahman and the ignorant person who is not knowing the creation. But the moment he knows about it, he also becomes disinterested in the world of objects, because he found the happiness and the solitude within himself. He is always happy. Whether he is engaged in the work or whether he is not engaged in the work doesn't make a difference for such a person, one who has realized that the happiness is one's own nature. That is why the Sukritam, the Punyam and Swayamkritam all will be known only when you know that the creation is nothing but you are the one. Now you are feeling yourself as separated. This separateness will create the problem later, which when we go to the later part of this same section 7, will give rise to the why we have fear.
Sure.
That is what will be explained.
Yes, Prabhuji. I think I'm very interested in going there to close the understanding that I think now jump into this rasa part.
Yes.
Advaitat sukrutam raso vai saha. That sukruta karya result in rasa. That rasa is the result, the essence of that karya. That own essence is the reason for that ananda. One who knows it without further involving the objective experience, that rasa become navarasa, and all that different variations occur, and the ananda is gone. That amplification in the priyamoda pramoda lead to the other rasas, and they are temporary. This mula karya, the sukruta, is what is ananda. Is that fair understanding?
Yeah, that is what the world of objects itself is, objects of happiness. But if we do not know the nature of that sarvatmatvam, that is the most important aspect. If we do not know that they are also of the same Brahman, which is the cause for your creation, your existence, your nature, is the same thing which is there in the world of objects. That is why unknowingly we get attracted to the world of objects for thinking that happiness lies in the object. And as you said, why it is not permanent? Because our mind which is looking for happiness is not knowing that happiness. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. That happiness, when it is not known by the mind, it becomes what you call a reducing utility, value of utility for the mind. And the mind looks for something else again. The nature is that the world of objects are not temporary in nature. They being also of nature of Brahman, the astitvam is present in them, whether they change their name, the mud becomes the pot bakes into mud again, or the gold becomes the ornaments become the gold again. Doesn't make a difference for the nature, because the existence in the gold, existence in the mud, or existence as a reality is present. But what we say, the temporariness, the name and form changes. We think the name and form is the reality of the object, but not the existence part of it. It is on the existence we attribute the name and form, and then we have the object. When we do not know that aspect, we go by the name and form. And name and form are temporary in nature. They keep changing. that when the name and form is changed, the mud became the pot became the mud. The changes brings us feeling that the objects are changing. Therefore, the happiness is also changing. But once we realize that they are all existence is the nature, existence consciousness is the nature, then whether they change their nature, their shape or name, you are not getting affected by that. That is what is to be the Sarvatma Bhava. And that is why the nature of rasa becomes permanent to us.
Got it, Banerjee. So the same rasa become bhaya, and
Right,
that deviates. That simple misunderstanding can shake you out of that ananda
right.
bhava. This is clear, Banerjee. Now we are going there. Thank you. I think we'll wait for the remaining class to clarify further. Thank you, Banerjee.
Thank you, Venkat. Sat,
Namaste, Bindoji.
namaste, Sat.
If it's late, then
No,
I can wait.
you
I
can
can
go.
ask
You can go ahead.
Sunday. Okay. In commentary, there is this line: Nasat Anand Hetutvam Drashtam Loke. And the Hindi of it is लोक में किसी असत पदार्थ की आनंद हेतुता कभी नहीं देखी गई.
सही है.
This I understand as the object is experienced because of reality both inherent in it and a prior to it.
Yes.
But we know at times the objects and the experience world are called unreal. This may be because of its temporariness, not because they come from some absolute unreality. Is this how this this line should be interpreted?
Absolutely right. You are right. That's why I gave the the barren woman's son cannot give birth to a son. Is the example which we have to take, because barren woman's son itself is a non-reality, unreal. So an unreal object cannot give rise to anything even real or unreal, both. So that is why nasat tajjanma ati asti iti loke. That means in the world you cannot see where a barren woman's son has given birth to a progeny for himself or herself. Same way.
Okay. Then there are two meanings of the word asat. An absolutely unreal, meaning which is the starting point, because we are using it with absolute. And then there is an unreality which is somewhere in mid. Like from reality, in between there is an unreal or the happenings or experience of the world. And post it, then again reality.
Yeah, the first nasat is the unmanifest form. So we cannot know it. It is beyond comprehension, beyond transaction. Therefore, it may appear to be non-existent. That appearing to be non-existent, but it is really not non-existent. Therefore, it is called avyakritam or unmanifest. Whereas the son of a barren woman is non-existent. The difference between unmanifest and non-existent to be understood very clearly.
Okay, then the first one is actually wrong. The absolute unreality position.
That is not absolute unreality. It is unmanifest.
So, if I can arrange it, then absolute reality, then unreality
That itself is unmanifest. Absolute reality is unmanifest form.
But only when there is this desire, then only we can call it as a unmanifest desire to create. Then only we can call it as unmanifest reality.
Yeah, we call it as desire to create for the purpose of transactional explanation. But if you look at the Mandukya explanation where we get the Esha Swabhavaha, Ishasya, it is the nature of consciousness to become aware. So in the awareness, if you have a name and form, then it becomes an object. The name is also awareness, the form is also awareness. Other than awareness, there is nothing else. But when it is being transacted through the name and form, that consciousness or awareness, which was unmanifest in the deep sleep, has now taken the shape of the experiencer and the world of experience and the act of experiencing. So all the three are come out of what? From the unmanifest consciousness to manifest consciousness in the nature of experiencer, experienced and experiencing. And all the three are substratum is what? Consciousness or awareness itself. Without awareness, there is no object or a subject which can be called experiential. Nor will there be a connection of experience with a non-existent material which is beyond awareness or consciousness, or which is not having awareness or consciousness. So you cannot say that non-existent thing is really not there, because even you say that non-existent, there is nothing called non-existent. But terminology wise, we can say that a barren woman's son is a non-existent. But even there, we are using words which are existent in nature. Woman is existent, the son is in a word existent, barrenness as a qualifying for the woman is an existent reality. Even though all of them are there cannot be a product for a barren woman to call her son. Therefore, we call it as unmanifest, or not unmanifest, non-existent. Whereas, until she was not known as barren, we would have called as unmanifest son, because she is yet to be married or yet to be impregnated or something like that, we can say. But she never became pregnant, so then we call it as barren woman. That is the way in which we see that it's very, very two different category altogether. One is unmanifest, means it is present as a seed form or in this non-transactable world, avyavaharyam. But the moment you want to transact it, it becomes subject-object and the relationship between the two.
Okay. Thank you, Binduji.
Thank you, Seth. I think, Prakash, we can close.
Yes, shall we? Yes. First of all, thank you, Binduji, for patiently taking all these questions that we've been posing to you. And especially the in-depth discussion with Venkatji is going to be quite revealing for us to listen back again, because the clarifications that come as a process of this is so vital. So thank you everyone for coming up, and Venkatji, especially you, and all the others who came up to ask questions. And as I had mentioned in the beginning, the replays are available in Clubhouse if you want to go back and revisit before you engage with the next class, because it's going to be a deeper state of the same thing. So, and also you have these replays available as recorded talks on YouTube. And I put the link in the chat. And thank you all for coming. And our next session is a Q&A on Sunday, same time, 8:30 IST. And then the following Wednesday will be the 31st class on Taittareeya Upanishad. Over to you, Binduji.
Thank you,
Before that,
Prakash.
Bindu sir, I would like
Yes.
to say something. Yes, sir, please allow me.
Yeah, please.
Please feel or, do whatever you want to do. I'll affirm this one and please say yes. Let the good health and abundance be with Bindu sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Manjunath. Thank you, Atmisha. Thank you, Ganesh, Manjunath, Venkat, and Sat for coming and asking questions. And thank you all for the audience for patiently listening and interacting. We'll have any Q&A on Sunday, as Prakash said. And this one, 7th section, subsection, will continue on the Wednesday and Friday next week. Thank you all. Hari Om. Good night.
Hari Om. Good night.
Adios.